Happy
Jodi.
Christmas!
Happy Christmas. But I believe you've got mince pies.
I do have mince pies. My lovely producer has sent me mince pies.
And my mince pies didn't arrive.
Well, she says she sent them, but maybe
I
you're
know.
just a favourite.
I think that's probably. Anyway, I've got my chocolate Florentines here that I'm going to tuck into.
I've got mince pies for fucking food.
And you have indeed, Jodi, tucked. I take it. Maybe it's as well that I didn't get mince pies, and then at least one of us can do the talking. What do you reckon?
I mean, I'm okay with this.
I'm Florentined up now.
I also have a cupcake, so I can vary my snacks today.
And do you make your own mince pies, Jodi?
Well, I'm not great at pastry. I make a mince pie that is a crumble mince pie.
Oh,
so you make crumble mix, and you make a mince pie out of the crumble mix, and that's good.
And where does the crumble mix go? The top or the bottom?
Both. So you put you make it. You take about a little bit out, and then you add some extra butter, and you squish it down a bit, and that makes the bottom, and then the top is all crumbly. This is turning into a baking podcast. Should we get started?
Yeah, but just one request, Jodi. I think you need to send me some of your crumble mince pies, please.
Deal. And I'll send some to my producer since I'm her favourite.
Well, it looks that way, doesn't it? I've got nuts in my teeth.
Christmas joy all round.
It's your own time you're wasting. Ramblings from beyond the classroom with Marie and Jodi.
Welcome back to It's Your Own Time You're Wasting. This is our lovely, jubbly Christmas episode. I'm Jodi, and this is my co-host.
Yay! Marie, I'm Marie, the co-host. The co-host.
Now, you can't see us, but we are full-on festive up. So I have my Christmas jumper and a Christmas hat that lights up.
Flashes, no less. And I have my Santa hat on.
So we're looking amazing.
Yeah.
Although my hat is going to come off because my head's hot.
Actually, I'm finding this quite good. Keeping me warm.
How do you find Christmas in the classroom then? Did you jolly it up? When did you start? Were you a kind of 1st December person? Are you a Scrooge?
Well, my birthday's 12th of December, so traditionally Christmas cannot start until after then. But I did absolutely love it in the classroom, and I loved sharing it with the kids. And
yeah,
I went the whole 9 yards, Christmas tree, decorations. I mean, I was in my first school. I was in a really lucky position because I taught all special educational needs classes, and they were a little bit more receptive, I think, to doing Christmas things. So yeah, I went all out. What about you, Jodi?
Yeah, I went all out. I had a Christmas tree, still got my Christmas tree. And I do in my first year of teaching, one of the other women gave me a advent calendar that had like little pockets in it. I'd have that up and do it with my form, that everybody would get something once a day. Like one person would get something one day, so we'd share it between us, and stuff like that. Obviously, if you do too much of that, though, it really does add up.
Oh, yes, it does. And it all has to come out of your own pocket, doesn't it? There's no budget for decorations.
No. In the school that I very first taught at, our Christmas decoration, because we didn't do any decorations, and there was this whole like jokey thing about budget cuts and diddle-la-la, and why we weren't allowed to. And so we had a ceremonial hanging of the Christmas bauble, singular. And all the staff went to the staff room, and the eldest teacher of the school would hang this bauble up, and everybody
that was all
just
you were
nod
allowed.
and leave. Nobody would cheer. Nobody would do anything. It would just go up. Everyone
that's
would just
a bit Scrooge, isn't it?
Oh, it's hilarious though. It was every year, and there was this whole essay that came out. It was such a good tradition, and in a school that was so traditional, like they had full blown Christmas assemblies, and it always happened. Like we had a proper Armistice Day assembly with like where they read out the names of like everyone had gone to school. It was so traditional, and then this Christmas thing was just like bauble. Done. It was great.
As long as it gave you a laugh, that's the main thing, isn't it? So go on, Jodi. Now, come on. You're a maths teacher. How can you make maths Christmassy?
3 words. The Pirate Game.
Go on.
If you've not discovered this, I might have to come to an English meeting and just play this with you because it is carnage. You have a 7x7 grid.
Mm-hmm.
And all the students have got a copy in front of them. They have to put in like certain things. So it's like steel, it's bank, and then like monetary values.
Right.
And then you go through and pick a random square. And they either get the money that's in the square or they get the like power up that's in the square. But the power ups include like stealing each other's points or killing someone so they're out the game.
Ooh.
Or doubling your points or banking your points. It's all these other like power ups, and one of them is choosing the next square, which is the best one.
Right.
And it just gets so intense because people have like full blown grudges and grudges against people the previous year as well.
Oh wow!
It is the best thing about Christmas is the pirate game.
So this was like a once a year event, this game, was it?
If they were lucky, they'd play it at summer and Christmas.
Right.
They were lucky, but it was very much your last lesson.
Yeah.
So that was our main thing. And then you do get kind of like Christmassy themed stuff. I think, to be honest, Christmas is the one that maths teachers go for the most.
Yeah.
Because it's Christmas. And you can, you know, Easter, you're like, it's Easter and you're close to exams and there's not much you can do. Christmas, you just stick some tinsel on it and you're sorted. So we had like advent calendars that were like starters. We had like, you know, colour by numbers and stuff like that were Christmassy. So you can do a lot. There's so much Christmas stuff that you can kind of use any topic in Christmas.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Whereas English teachers, you have it easy. You're just like, Christmas
so
Carol, sorted.
easy. Yeah.
Last lesson, watch the film.
Watch the film. Yeah, exactly.
And if you really want to spread it out, watch
that.
one version.
Yeah, you can watch a Muppets Christmas Carol.
Best film
because
ever.
that's by far the most educational version.
100%.
But yeah, I used to do similar things. But it is so easy as an English teacher because you can do Christmas poems and you can do analysing Christmas carols.
A letter to Santa.
We didn't ever quite do that, but we did make Christmas cards, and then the students wrote a poem to put in the Christmas card, you know, things like that. We did nice crafty things, glitter, brilliant. I just love it. So Jodi, I've got a Christmas joke for you now.
I'm
ready. Go with your mince pie.
Thanks.
What do you get if you cross a snowman and a vampire?
I don't know. What do you get if you cross a snowman and a vampire?
Frostbite.
I've got one, and this one might be a bit raw for you, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, go on.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Arthur.
Arthur who?
Arthur, any more mince pies?
Oh, Jodi, talk about rubbing it in. If you could see this, listeners, she's literally stuffing her mouth.
Not sorry at all.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry on that one.
Prep the halls, deck the presents, and wrap the turkey. It's your own time you're wasting, and it's nearly Christmas. Are you on the naughty list?
Well, I think it's about time we introduced our guest for today, don't you, Jodi? If you could possibly stop eating mince pies for a second. Our guest today is Claire. Would you like to introduce yourself, Claire?
Yes, I would. I'm Claire, and I'm an English teacher and drama teacher.
Ooh, so you've got one of the two best subjects there, drama. The other one being maths, of course. How did you find, particularly in drama, did you find Christmas quite easy, or did you celebrate Christmas?
Do you know what? Yeah, in most schools that I've worked in when I've taught drama, it's just the easiest subject, especially with Key Stage 3, because you can just contextualise it to anything. You can do improvisation to it. You can bring in, like you guys were talking about, Christmas poetry or, you know, Christmas carol. You can bring in Christmas stories. I'm also guilty of, I say guilty, but I don't feel guilty about it, doing some Christmas dance routines.
Brilliant.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that was good fun. I mean, mostly it just consisted of throwing in some stuff to steps and Club 7 and most of things like that, and maybe the cha-cha slide. And of course the kids absolutely loved that, and I say that with no irony at all. But that was just, it was always a good excuse to do that sort of thing at Christmas time. It's always fun.
We used to, when I was at school, all the staff used to do a Christmas panto, and it was the best thing ever. So across the last couple of days they'd perform it and everyone would get to go see it in a particular lesson. But I did all the lighting stuff at school. So I get like the whole last 2 days, I'd just have to go and do lighting for the whole time. It was
nice.
brilliant.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I
it was
did this.
epic.
Yeah, we had the same thing. We in one school I worked in. Yeah, we did that too. We had a staff pantomime, and obviously because I was the drama teacher, I was always in it.
Of course,
always had to be in it. I was forced. I say with that in inverted commas. I loved doing it. It was so much fun, and the kids absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it was just like the one time in the year. It's one of the reasons I love Christmas so much, that people just kind of like relax. Like our head teacher used to be in it quite often. He was the Dame or Father Christmas or something like that, and like that. And then when upper school did West Side Story, he played Officer Krupke, which was just a great part. Like he'd just chill a bit. Yeah, it was great.
That's important for the student as well, isn't it? To see the different side of you. I think you get that on school trips as well, but Christmas is equally good for that. But Claire, how did you go on when they're on the ceiling, like in the last week of term?
Do you know what? I think that was the time where I just brought out the movies.
Yeah.
So like I'd go all out. I had a Christmas tree in my cupboard, which I left behind actually. So I hope it still got used. There was a Christmas tree that came out. I had all of the decorations. I had lights up, and I had Christmas cards all on a string. An advent calendar. You guys talking about advent calendars? Advent calendars? It did get expensive, but I did that as well. But it did get a little bit crazy. But I figured that they were going to be crazy anyway.
Yeah.
So
you may as well
managed it.
Go with it.
Yeah, definitely led up to the movies at the end. Like you talk about Christmas Carol, like we watched like every single version. Made it slightly a bit longer. So like in Christmas Carol, like all the movie versions, they cut out a song, and so I would like pause the DVD and then go on YouTube and find the song and then get them to watch the song and then go back because I'm so annoyed that they took it out. So I have a personal grudge against them for doing that. So make it a little bit longer that way. But yeah, mostly just putting the movies on the last week because they're not going to do much work at that point anyway. So
my pet peeve as a teacher was most schools I've worked in had a rule that you can't kind of go nuts until the last lesson.
Yeah.
Which I think is a reasonable rule. But as a maths teacher, they have at least 3 lessons in a week.
Yeah.
So you can't go nuts until your very last lesson. But all the classes that have got 1 a week have that whole week of just like sweets and movies. And you're like, let's solve some simultaneous equations. And they're like, Christmas! and then you finally get to that last lesson and they're just like, oh, finally. And you're like, we had to do some maths. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jodi.
You feel really bad. You feel really bad about it, but it's not your fault.
No, it's not your fault. But also, did you not just recruit the kids onto your side? I'd be like, listen, we're watching a movie. Here is a worksheet you're filling in while we're watching it. If anybody asks you, you're doing an in-depth analysis of this film. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
The other thing that I used to do with them is I used to say kind of a week or so before, this is what we need to cover before Christmas. And we have to cover it. If it takes us every single lesson, it takes us every single lesson. If it takes us 2 lessons, then we get to play for the last 2, and just kind of do it like that. This is what we need to cover. You mess around in the next few lessons, we're not going to cover it. We're going to have to go straight to the end. And, this is how long I think it's going to take. And most of the time, you ended up getting at least 1 lesson of play, sometimes 2.
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal. But do you think, Claire, that Christmas can throw up problems? Can it be divisive? When you've got children from different economic backgrounds.
I think there is the potential for that, but it's not something I've found myself. It's not something that I've encountered in schools that I've worked in. I've worked in schools in some more privileged areas and some in sort of more poverty-stricken areas. But it's not something that's come up. I've found in all the schools I've worked in that you get the same amount of excitement, you get the same amount of looking forward to it, and then a lot of the time, like say, they're getting some free stuff, aren't they? Like they're getting some sweets, or they're getting to have a good time, and a lot of the time, perhaps for some kids, they are getting that sense of joy and family and joining in with things that perhaps they might not get at home, depending on what their situation is. So I've never found it to be a problem personally, but I can see that there is potential for it perhaps.
So, Jodi,
Yes, Marie.
I reckon that while it's lovely having us wittering away, we could really do with some views from other people.
What a brilliant idea.
So shall we ask people to write in?
Let's do it.
We've got a podcast coming up which is all about dating as a teacher. And if you have an opinion or an anecdote about keeping up with your love life while keeping up with your marking, hopefully not both at the same time, then email us at beyondmailbag@twinkle.co.uk.
And we can keep your identity a secret if you'd like us to, so just let us know on that email.
That's right, and don't forget that twinkle is spelt wrong. There's no E on the end.
Once an English teacher, always an English teacher.
Exactly.
Claire, I hear you have a Christmas joke for us.
I do have a Christmas joke. This one was on the wall in my classroom. So it's an English one. You're going to love it. So what do you call Santa's little helpers?
I don't know. What do you call Santa's little helpers?
Subordinate clauses.
Oh, nice.
That's good, isn't it?
Jodi's face is blank as the tumbleweed goes through her mind.
It's a wonderful joke. I love it.
Hang on.
Absolutely love it.
She's Googling subordinate clause now.
I had a load of memes all over my classroom as well. And it was one of many collections of memes and Englishy jokes I had up on my wall.
I think we should
love those.
Make a collection of Christmas meme posters to go on classroom walls.
That's a good one.
Don't you love when you Google stuff and Twinkle comes up and you're like, oh, cool.
Brilliant.
Well, yeah, it would.
Just like I don't see it as Twinkle.
Yeah. It's a bit primary school, actually, isn't it, that joke? But still.
Feels like we really know what
primary, aren't they? No, the primary kids will know more than the secondary children will. They have it instilled into them.
I have a maths one for you.
Go on then.
I could make this funny maths or just awkward maths, so I'm going to go for funny maths, and then I'll tell the awkward one for everyone else. Why is it difficult to fit a Christmas tree into a maths classroom?
I don't know. Why is it difficult to fit a Christmas tree into a maths classroom?
Because it has square roots. My other one for the A-level maths teachers out there.
Right, go on.
Why didn't Father Christmas fall off the roof?
I don't know.
His mew was too big.
No.
No, nothing.
Tumbleweed, I'm afraid, Jodi, on that one.
No, I don't get
it.
No,
mu is the coefficient of friction.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
As in mu?
It's in the Greek letter mu, mu.
Oh, see. Oh, no, I just think of that as being a Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's the nerd in me. I'm very nerdy.
Because maths jokes about the coefficient of gravity and not nerdy.
Not nerdy at all, no.
God, yeah, that's true.
Okay, I've got a question for both of you, and then
Right.
I think we need to do 2 stars and a wish. What is the best and worst Christmas present you've had from a student?
Ooh.
I've got quite a good one, which was I thought it was quite a very thoughtful one that I could think of straight off the top of my head. It was my first year of teaching, and a boy in my tutor group, he was aware that I really liked to sing, and I was in my 20s. This is quite a long time ago now, so I was in my 20s, and that was when X Factor was still, I think it's still a thing, I don't know, and I did go to a few X Factor auditions actually, and he knew I was going, and he got me like this little gift set that had like an X Factor mug and a little key ring that said, "I've got the X Factor." I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
That's so nice.
Yes, that was adorable. I can't think of the worst one though, but that was definitely the best one.
My best one, I think, was like a little pot with a candle in it, and it had a lid, and on the pot it said "thank you." I've still got it actually, and that was my first year of teaching, so that's a long, long time ago.
It's so meaningful when depending on when you get it and what kid it comes from, it's just so meaningful, isn't it?
My best present was one of the students that I taught in Bakewell owned the original Bakewell pie pudding shop, and he bought us Bakewell pie pudding, and it was amazing, and it was like freshly baked that morning, and we had it at break, and it was delicious. That's the best Christmas present, just to be clear.
So just to stop you there, Jodi, you know this parcel you're making me of various Christmas wares?
Nope.
Damn.
I mean, I can make you a Bakewell pudding. So,
yes,
I mean, already I'm sending you red velvet cake, I'm sending you a mince pie, and I mean, I'm not sure if I can afford the postage on anything else. And I've got to send it all to our producer. And we're talking about this in front of Claire, so I have to send it to Claire as well.
Well, yeah.
Because otherwise
obviously.
it's just me.
Yeah, it's not going to be left out of this.
But the worst Christmas present I ever received was also at the school in Bakewell. And there's a student who'd been on Britain's Got Talent doing a really, really cool routine. They were called Pitch Perfect, if you want to go and have a look at it. And they were like a big choir, and a lot of the kids in the choir went to the school I was at. And this particular kid stole a USB from my pencil case, loaded the video onto the USB and gave it me. He'd shown me this video 27 times by this point, and that was my Christmas present. I was like,
nice.
This video's readily available on YouTube, and it's my pen drive. What are you doing? But it is a very good video if you want to go see it.
Well, that was very inventive anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah. What cheeky kid.
I know. But, 10 out of 10 for trying.
I've got one more Christmas joke.
Oh, go on, Christmas joke.
Why was Rudolph disappointed with his exam results?
Don't know.
Because he went down in history.
Oh. Oh, dear me. Oh, I've got to follow that up then, Jodi, with another English teacher Christmas joke. Why are English teachers on Santa's nice list?
They're not.
They are.
Of course they are.
Yes, because he was stuck there for maths teachers.
No.
Sorry, I'm interrupting. Do you want to do it again sensibly?
This is because Jodi's outnumbered today, isn't it? That's why
defensive.
she's feeling the need.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I'll just give you the answer. So English teachers are on Santa's nice list because they know their alphabet.
Oh, that's good.
I know.
Oh, I have one more.
Go on.
I have to show the nerd in me. I have a Star Wars one.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, Star Wars one. So how did Darth Vader know what Luke was getting for Christmas? Because he could feel his presence.
That's a good one, that. Let's choose our star, which is one tip we liked or a story we enjoyed from this episode. Have you thought of anything, anybody?
I could think of a star.
Go on, Claire, give us your star.
I love hearing about just the traditions and the sort of things that other teachers do in other schools. So it was lovely hearing like both of your stories about what you've been up to at Christmas time. This is lovely. I love the bauble story. That's just wonderful. I just think you must have had such a lovely team for like that to have happened every year, because it's just so silly. I just love it. It was just great. It was great. I think that was a great story.
Oh yeah, it's good to be silly, isn't it? I think my favourite story is about your pupil nicking your USB stick and then giving it you back as a Christmas present with a video on it that you didn't want to watch. I think that's really clever.
My style, these delicious mince pies.
Talk about salt in the wounds, Jodi.
Oh,
dear. Okay, so now we need to decide on one wish for Christmas in classrooms.
Mine is a very simple one. I wish it could be Christmas every day.
Oh, Jodi. You're very sentimental for a maths teacher.
No, I'm just obsessed with Christmas. I've got Christmas-itis. It's great.
Oh, and so have you already started with Christmas now?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Christmas starts December 1st, without fail. I was shopping for Christmas presents in November.
Yep.
So I actually technically did my first Christmas present in January, but that doesn't really count.
I do that though, must have you. Claire, what would your wish be for Christmas classrooms?
I think my wish for Christmas classrooms would be for all teachers who are doing movies and games and things like that in schools that perhaps they're not really supposed to because of the rules to not get caught.
Yes. Nice one.
Fair play.
Yeah, that's definitely fair play.
Thank you so much for joining us, Claire.
It's been a delight.
I am obsessed with Claire. Claire does this great We Don't Talk About Bruno video that's on the Facebook, and I love it. Absolutely love it. If you haven't seen it, do go and watch it. It's brilliant.
I will.
Oh man!
So I feel like a little bit in awe.
I thought everyone had forgotten about that.
No, we just don't talk about it.
Excellent.
So, happy Christmas, everyone. We will be back after a short festive break. So until next time, please do like and follow so you don't miss the next episode. And don't forget to subscribe.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
And Happy New Year.
This podcast is proudly produced by Beyond. Please bear in mind the views and opinions expressed are those of individuals and may not represent those of Beyond or Twinkle.
We should sing a song as we go out.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse.
Hey, none of us are singing at the same time as each other.
No, we're not. We tried.